Adverbs in English are words that describe a verb, an adjective, another adverb, or a whole phrase. They often end in the letters ly, but some take the same form as their adjective counterpart. Some very simple examples are: I run quickly. You are extremely tall. He frequently visits his parents. Fortunately, she won the game. We sing loudly. And they are seriously worried. It's easy to identify the adverbs in these sentences because they all end in ly. However, not every adverb will end in ly. So some others are: I am very tall. You are doing well. Today is his birthday. Yesterday, she went to school. Sometimes we like to go out. It will rain soon. And they lived here for a long time. In these sentences, there is no pattern to recognize for the adverbs, so it's best to understand their function because they describe how, when, where, and to what extent something occurs. Initially, adverbs describe verbs, which means that they describe the way an action is happening, like I run quickly. The adverb quickly answers the question, in what manner? How do I run? Quickly. The same can be done with we sing loudly. In what manner or how do we sing? Loudly. This is the function of adverbs with verbs. They answer other types of questions about how an action is performed. However, linking verbs like feel, appear, seem sometimes get confused when used with adverbs. Such verbs typically precede adjectives and not adverbs. And a common mistake that can be made is in a sentence like I feel badly about what happened. Because feel is a linking verb, it links the subject of the sentence, I, to the modifier that follows it, feel. Since the subject is a noun, it is modified by an adjective. An adverb describes how I perform the action of feeling, but an adjective describes what I feel. If I'm feeling a negative emotion, I need to change the adverb to an adjective and say, I feel bad about what happened. This is the correct way to express such a sentence, and it's something to keep in mind and not be confused with adverbs. Secondly, adverbs describe adjectives, which means that they add intensity to the adjective, like I am very tall, she is quite beautiful, and we are incredibly happy. All of these adverbs describe the adjectives and elevate their meanings, so they're now intensified. This use is quite simple to understand. Then, adverbs describe other adverbs that specify the intensity of the idea described by the first adverb, telling to what extent the first adverb is describing the idea. Some examples are, I ran very quickly. You spoke too early. And we saw it literally immediately. While there is no limit on how many adverbs can be used to describe other adverbs, it is best to not overuse them, and even when they are used, adverbs like very, to, and more are the best to use. Finally, adverbs can describe entire sentences, and in this case, common adverbs are fortunately, generally, interestingly, and so on. Instead of describing one thing in a sentence, adverbs can describe a general feeling about all of the information in the whole sentence, like, fortunately, she won the game. Generally, you like to dance, and interestingly, he likes to sing. Moreover, adverbs should be placed as close as possible to the words that they are meant to describe. Putting the adverb in the wrong spot can produce an awkward sentence and completely change the meaning. Like, they almost lost all of the money, or they lost almost all of the money. The first sentence is correct if it's meant to indicate that they were on the verge of losing all of the money, but managed to hold on to it so they didn't lose anything. The adverb almost comes right before the verb lost, so it's describing the verb itself. In the second sentence, almost is placed in a way that describes the adjective all, meaning that most of the money was lost, but a little bit of it was kept. This is the difference that an adverb can make when placed in different ways. It is even more complex when the word only is used because it can act like an adverb, an adjective, or a conjunction, so it's one of the most misplaced modifiers. Consider these sentences. He only fed the cat, and he fed only the cat. The first phrase means that all he did was feed the cat. He didn't do anything else to it besides feeding it. The second sentence means that he fed the cat, but not the dog, the bird, or anything else that could have been near. This is what the word only can do when used as an adverb.